Kingston couldn't say a word as he was escorted out of the courtroom hours ago.
Jury selection is now complete in the federal fraud case against rapper and singer Sean Kingston and his mother.
The federal fraud trial for rapper Sean Kingston and his mother are now underway in Fort Lauderdale.
New tonight, a guilty verdict in the federal fraud trial of singer Sean Kingston and his mother Janice Turner.
Sean Kingston didn't just fall off. He didn't fade quietly into the background like some washed-up pop star clinging to nostalgia. He got exposed. The man who once sang Beautiful Girls wasn't just living off old hits. He was allegedly orchestrating one of the boldest celebrity scams we've seen in years. Fake wire transfers, stolen luxury goods, forged receipts, all wrapped in a facade of fame, fueled by a lifestyle he could no longer afford. And when the feds finally came knocking,
the verdict is in for Sean Kingston's federal fraud trial. According to NBC News, the Beautiful Girls singer, whose real name is Keyshawn Anderson, and his mom, Janice Turner, were each found guilty on one count of conspiracy to commit wire fraud.
He broke down in court, literally, tears, shouting, and one last dramatic cry, "Protect my mother," as she was taken away in handcuffs. This wasn't just a legal collapse. It was a full-on identity implosion. But let's rewind. Because to understand the downfall, you have to understand the illusion Sean Kingston built and how long he kept it going. Most people remember him as the smiling, laid-back island boy who turned a catchy melody into a global hit. Beautiful Girls wasn't just a song, it was a cultural reset. The track topped charts in over 20 countries. Sean became the face of a new era of tropical-infused pop. His sound was different, his vibe was chill, his rise, fast. At just 17 years old, Kingston was discovered on MySpace by producer J.R. Rodham. Within a year, he had a major label deal. Then came the hits. Beautiful Girls, Take You There, Eeny Meeny with a young Justin Bieber. By 2010, he was headlining tours, performing on late-night shows, and collaborating with industry giants. To the world, he was a teenage star living his dream. But behind the scenes, the cracks were already forming. There were rumors of reckless spending, flashy purchases. A jet ski accident in 2011 nearly killed him.
The two will be sentenced July 11th, with Kingston confined to house arrest for the time being. Meanwhile, his mother has been remanded into federal custody.
He was hospitalized, underwent multiple surgeries, and disappeared from the spotlight for months. When he returned, he was different. The music didn't hit the same. The singles stopped charting. The label support cooled, but the lifestyle, still on 10. This is where it all began to unravel. Because while the chart said irrelevant, Kingston's Instagram said mogul. He kept up the illusion. Jets, jewelry, parties, designer clothes. Fans assumed he was still rich, still signed, still famous. But behind that smile was mounting debt and a reputation for not paying up. Fast forward to 2024. That illusion cracked wide open. The trigger? A $150,000 sound system. A luxury install in his rented South Florida mansion. The deal? Sean promised the company, Ver Entertainment, a custom promotional video featuring him and Justin Bieber. He said Bieber would appear in the promo, endorse the product, and the exposure would be worth more than any cash. The company agreed. The equipment went in. The cameras never showed up.
In tonight's follow-up file, singer Sean Kingston and his mother appeared in a Miami federal courtroom today on wire fraud charges. Kingston, whose real name is Keyshawn Anderson, and his mother, Janice Turner, are accused of scamming several businesses out of more than $1 million.
There was no video, no Bieber, no payment, just silence. Ver sued. And that lawsuit opened a vault of secrets. Court filings revealed a pattern, fake receipts, forged wire confirmations, a luxury lifestyle allegedly built on fraud, jewelry never paid for, cars acquired through deception, items taken with promises of payment that never came, all tied back to Kingston and his mother, Janice Turner. Now here's the plot twist. This wasn't Janice's first time in court. Back in 2006, before Sean was even famous, she pled guilty to bank fraud. She served over a year in prison for falsifying loan documents and running up credit lines she never intended to repay. She was released in March 2007. Just 2 months later, Beautiful Girls dropped. Let that sink in. From day one, it was a family hustle. And when Sean's music stopped selling, the hustle didn't. According to federal agents, Janice helped coordinate the scams.
Worth of goods like high-end vehicles and jewelry. If convicted, they face up to 20 years in prison for each of the 6 counts against them.
She was the one sending emails, the one making promises, the one confirming wire transfers that didn't exist. On paper, it looked polished. In reality, it was a house of cards. Investigators dug deep. They found a trail stretching across years, cities, and states. In one case, Kingston allegedly used Bieber's name to buy watches. In another, he convinced a car dealer to hand over a Mercedes by flashing a fake bank statement. The feds say this wasn't sloppy. It was strategic. Then came the raids. Federal agents swarmed Kingston's rented mansion. They seized electronics, phones, documents, luxury goods. They took Janice into custody on the spot. Sean was arrested shortly after. He wept in court, pleaded for leniency, said he never meant to hurt anyone. But the paper trail told a different story.
We're following breaking news now. Just coming into the CBS News Miami newsroom, a federal jury found singer and rapper Sean Kingston and his mother, Janice Turner, guilty on all charges.
5 counts of wire fraud, each one carrying up to 20 years. Janice, now a 2-time offender, faces even steeper consequences. Prosecutors argue that she was the ringleader, that Sean used his fame as a smokescreen, that together they conned their way through Hollywood and beyond. The courtroom scenes were tense. Spectators whispered, reporters scribbled. Sean sat quietly, often looking down. When the prosecution laid out their timeline, complete with text messages, fake transaction logs, and altered contracts, the mood shifted. The jury leaned in. The gallery froze. This wasn't speculation. This was a paper trail of deception. The defense team attempted to reframe Sean as overwhelmed, mismanaged, a young star in over his head. They tried to redirect blame, suggesting Janice had operated independently. But the digital receipts said otherwise. Multiple devices showed Sean's involvement. Voice notes, WhatsApp messages, deleted emails recovered from cloud backups. He wasn't unaware. He was in it. And then Janice took the stand. Her testimony was bold, emotional, defiant. She denied wrongdoing, claimed she was managing her son's affairs in good faith. But cross-examination destroyed that image. Prosecutors presented her prior conviction, her previous patterns, and most damning, video footage of her discussing forged paperwork with a supplier. In that moment, everything collapsed.
In their luxury fraud scheme trial, Turner was taken into custody immediately while Kingston was ordered on house arrest until sentencing.
Social media was ruthless. TikTok exploded with reaction clips. Legal analysts live-streamed breakdowns of the trial. Former collaborators distanced themselves publicly. Even radio stations reportedly pulled Kingston songs from rotation, not out of punishment, but to avoid the backlash. But the damage extended beyond the courtroom. Kingston's streaming numbers dropped by over 70% within a week of the arrest. Sponsors pulled merchandise deals. His YouTube channel saw a surge in dislikes. Several venues that had previously hosted nostalgic events featuring his music quietly removed him from their lineups. Behind closed doors, entertainment law firms warned their clients about legacy affiliations. Production companies canceled reissue plans. Brands scrubbed partnerships. It was as if the industry hit delete. And all the while, Sean sat under house arrest, watching the empire he built on nostalgia dissolve into courtroom transcripts. Because when the illusion fades, there's nothing left to hide behind. And what was left was a former teen star clinging to a broken identity, facing decades in federal prison. No handlers, no stylists, just a bracelet, a court date, and the weight of every lie finally catching up. There's no final chorus to save him now. This is the legacy, from one-hit wonder to federal fraud headline. And the world, it's watching.